life practice community.
All right, so we're going to come into a seated shape to start. Coming into cross-legged, and you can be seated on a cushion if you like. Or just flat on your mat, whatever you prefer. And then either lay your palms on your lap, or if you like, you might join me in placing one hand on your heart and one hand on your navel. And then using that connection to tap into your breath. It's one of those days where things feel like they are not going right. My Wi-Fi is continuously disconnecting. A few people's computers aren't working. And I had a meeting today about, school opening plans with news that we weren't expecting. And this kind of chaos and unpredictability is exactly what our yoga practice is designed for. It's designed to help us learn how to stay calm in the midst of chaos. So that might be your intention with me, calm in the midst of chaos. Or you might choose something else completely different that's personal to you. And then when you're ready, we are going to invite in a tiny bit of movement. Just kind of stretching out the body before we drop into stillness. So let's release the arms. And then take a big breath in, arms reach up towards the sky. And then when you exhale, take your palms through heart center. And then we'll do 2 more, breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. And then can you take a big breath in, reaching the arms up towards the sky? And then land your right fingertips on the mat beside you. Take a big breath in with the left arm, and then reach the left arm all the way over towards the right. And just take a few rounds of breath. And then take an inhale, come all the way up through center. And then we'll switch the opposite way. So leave your left hand, reach your right arm over towards the side. Take a breath in, arms reach all the way up. And then we'll take it into a twist. So we're gonna land the right fingertips behind you, land your left fingertips, breathe in and lengthen, and then gaze over your right shoulder. And then inhale, arms all the way up towards the sky. And then we'll twist the opposite way. And then come all the way back up through center, arms lifting up overhead. And then just take the palms through heart center. And then we're going to come into our first shape. We're going to stay crisscross and we're just going to work into the traps muscle. So you're going to drop your right earlobe down towards your right shoulder. And then either just stay neutral like this, or place your right hand on the outside of your skull. Creating an extension through the left traps muscle. And we're going to be here for 3 whole minutes. So we're going to take poses tonight on purpose that are going to help with stress. Helping us release stress and do exactly what the intention is, which is to find a bit of calm in the midst of chaos. So I was, this theme's been particularly relevant to me right now, because I've been thinking a lot about the time period when I lived in Kuwait. And my life in Kuwait was extraordinarily stressful. Like every aspect about it was stressful. The home environment, the work environment, the cultural environment. There was nothing about my time there that was calm. And one of the most challenging aspects of it was that I was an hour-long drive away from the nearest yoga studio. And I look back on my life and I look back on that decision I made to move to Kuwait, and I really lacked an understanding of what I needed to take care of myself. I think I really lacked an understanding of how to keep myself balanced during that time. We're going to lift our head all the way up, release the right hand, and then just land the right hand and balance your brain on both shoulders. And then feel the difference of the left traps muscle to the right. And then we'll take the opposite side. So we'll drop the left earlobe down towards the left shoulder. And then lift the left arm up. Land the left palm on the right side. And then start to stretch through the right traps muscle. And so anyway, this whole reflecting time for me has been very interesting, because I'm aware that in a time period when I was in isolation and a time period when I hit rock bottom with my mental health, something that would have really helped me stay calm in the midst of chaos would be a virtual community like the Mindful Life practice that I could come home to at a time when I felt isolated. And my friend said to me this week that we often provide the kind of support that we would have needed ourselves at one time in our lives. And I think that's a little bit of what I realize I've unintentionally done here. We're staying on this side for about a minute longer. So yoga is something that helps me with my stress and anxiety. But what are some of the things that help you beyond yoga? What kind of things help and are in your toolkit beyond this practice? Let's take a few more breaths. And then take your head all the way up through center. Land your left palm. And then just drop your chin to your chest and do some little half circles. And we're gonna come into a deep hip opener next, a pigeon pose. So you're going to come onto your mat. It's good, my internet looks like it's better now. That's great. And we're gonna start first with the right leg. So you might come all the way up into a down dog just to stretch out if you like. And then take your right leg up. And then you're gonna pull your right leg in and lay your right shin across the width of the mat. And then wiggle your left knee back in space. And then as you breathe in, lengthen up. And then come all the way forward. So maybe being onto the elbows. And we're gonna drop into this shape for 3 minutes as well. I think self-care and balance and healing is kind of a lifelong sort of journey. Learning and understanding what works best for each individual. There were some things in Kuwait that I was aware of were helpful for me. And then there were things that were not. You know, and I was constantly using alcohol to sort of numb myself from the stress instead of dealing with it. when in reality, something that would have been much more productive for me would have probably been to be doing yoga every night, not drinking homemade alcohol in my kitchen. So what types of things add up to a balanced and healthy life for you? What are the types of things that help you find calm in the midst of chaos? Stay in this pigeon pose for a few more breaths. And then slowly come up onto the hands. And then we'll tuck the toes and come all the way up and back into a down dog. And then we'll allow the down dog to almost be like a neutralizer. I know it's quite a yang pose, but we'll just do this one down dog. And then take the left leg up. Draw the left knee in. Lay the left shin across the width of the mat. And then set yourself up to stillness in this side. Coming down onto the elbows. I think Yin class is the most relevant when thinking about how we deal with our stressors. Because in our Yin classes, we're putting our bodies into stressful shapes. Right? We're forcing ourselves to hold a pose that is uncomfortable. And in that discomfort, we're teaching ourselves how to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Great, breathing deeply. And self-talk is super important. Reminding ourselves that we are not going to be here forever. We got this. Let's take a few more rounds of breath. And then what we're going to do this time is we're going to come up and then we're going to roll onto the left bottom and then just come all the way forward and lie all the way back. Legs extended, heels grounded, toes drooping away. Hand on the belly and hand on the navel. And then just kind of let those poses wash over you. Taking a few more rounds of breath. And then we're going to slowly just come all the way back up again. So the next pose we're going to do, we're going to come onto the feet actually. We're going to take a waterfall, which I haven't taught in a while. But you're going to start to hinge forward, bend the knees, and then you can either grip opposite elbows. You can allow your hands to dangle. You can let your arms be propped up on a piece of furniture. So we're going to be in this waterfall for about 3 minutes. I've always loved forward folds because I feel like metaphorically, they just kind of symbolize letting the weight of the world roll off your shoulders. And it feels like this sense of letting go too. Right? Things start to loosen up and release in your back. There's also a mood boosting quality to mild inversions. Placing the head below the heart. We've been here for a minute, just 2 minutes more. Maybe you're noticing the pull of gravity. Bringing you just an inch closer. Just give it 10 more breaths. And then can you slowly roll up vertebrae upon vertebrae until the last thing that lifts up is your head. And then take a moment to just feel, find and feel your Tadasana. And we're going to drop into a deep twist to kind of neutralize this. So coming back onto your mat. Actually, first we'll do a heart opener and then we'll move into a twist. Let's do that. So you're gonna come down onto your elbows, taking your Sphinx pose, and we'll do Sphinx for 3 minutes and then our twist for 3 minutes. So after our forward fold, which is a flexion, the Sphinx is an extension. It should feel really nice after curling forward in quite a few poses to then counter that by opening upwards. And then if you want, you might spread your palms a little bit wider and then press through the palms to lift the heart up. So this is your full seal pose. This is quite a deep back bend. So if it's too much, feel free to back off. And we'll just be here for a minute longer. Take a few more breaths. And then you're going to slowly lower. And then let's just take stillness, landing the palms, landing a cheek. Now the twist we're going to take, we're going to come back up to the Sphinx just to get into it. And so you're going to draw your right knee up along the mat, and then you can lift your right elbow up, thread your left arm under, and then start to roll your body open so that your right arm opens all the way over towards the right. So this is a pretty deep twist. And you might take your pillow if you find it too deep, and that could be underneath your right knee. When I take spinal twists, I have the visualization of wringing out a wet washcloth. And that's essentially what's happening in your spinal discs. They are squishing together and releasing the tension between the vertebrae. Stay for one more minute, 10 more breaths. And then we're going to slowly unwind. And then maybe come up to Sphinx, allow it to be a bit of a neutral. And then we'll take the opposite side. So your left knee is going to come up. And then you're going to thread your right arm under. And then start to let your heart open into the twist on this side. We'll stay here for 2 more minutes. then slowly what we're going to do is just roll flat over onto the back. And then just allow the spine to realign. And the very last pose we're going to take today before our Shavasana is legs up the wall. So hopefully you're near to a wall space. You might like to be up on a bolster. You're going to prop your heels up and then recline your back body down. This is called Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. I often say it's like the dessert of the practice. So just enjoy the posture and kind of rest into it, and give you a couple minutes without my talking so you can just enjoy. Just take a few more rounds of breath. And if you want to stay in this pose for your Shavasana, feel free. If you want to stretch out into a more traditional Shavasana, also feel free to do that. or you can come to seated, your choice. Taking a few moments to make sure the whole body is comfortable. Before settling into stillness. Absorb into the comfort of your position. Into the safety of your environment. And give yourself permission to just surrender control. Of body and mind. Releasing into the ever increasing sensation of stillness. Now go to the feet and give them permission to relax. Speak to them mentally. Feet relax. Now giving permission to the legs to relax. Giving permission for the hands to relax. The arms relax. Shoulders relax. Pelvis relax. The abdomen relax. The chest relax. The whole body relax. Let the neck relax. Let the head relax. Let the face relax. Let the whole body relax. And then absorb into the stillness. Sensing the tranquility of the stillness. Sense the fullness of your awareness. And then maybe moving the awareness just to the breath. Feeling the organic tide of breath in and out. Staying for another minute or two and knowing that I'll bring you back when the time is up. Ishkava Mahu Lela. 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 Give your fingers and your toes a little wake up wiggle. Run a nice long stretch, fingertips through toes. Curl your body neatly into a little hug and acknowledge the fact that you have made your way here onto your yoga mat. Despite all of the chaos, you have given yourself a bit of calm, and that is massive. So thank yourself for that. And then slowly make your way up to seated. Placing the palms at the heart center. And so we close with an intention. It's an ancient intention, but it's perhaps the original intention, passed from heart to heart year after year. And it's that our yoga practice remains steady, our efforts remain continuous, and that our yoga serves and benefits all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe, be happy, be healthy, and be free. And may the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. So we'll seal with an Om when you're ready. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling through to make the Om. So a large breath in. Emptying, exhale. And then a big breath in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a lovely rest of your evening. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining.